I think there are sad things about liberals. If you were to take a survey of people that accepted pedophilia or or incest, probably liberals most often. The conservatives, we have the problems with like the acceptance of like global warming and stuff like that. But sex stuff, that there's too open-mindedness about sex among liberals, where they're just like, some of them will just like accept everything, like incest. Yeah, we're cool with incest. We're liberal enough to be cool with incest because we don't have a problem with the gays, so we don't have a problem with incest. Pedophilia, yeah, just get rid of this sexual consent laws and anybody can fuck. And I've met people like this that are just like, we should all just be able to have sex with whatever we want. Usually, like the people with the flat bill baseball caps, too. You would at first kind of think, well, okay, they're conservative kids because they're Christians. But at the same time, it's like they think that, like, it would be cool for 5-year-olds to be seen as sexual objects or animals because it's just sex, man. It doesn't damage you. Well, whatever. Uh, Pedophilia damages a child psychotically. Bestiality can hurt you as a human being, and the animal itself can get hurt. Necrophilia damages you by bringing fungus into sensitive parts of your body and microbes. So it's really sad as a liberal when the legalization process for pushing things like the legalization of incest or pedophilia or bestiality or anything like that comes from liberals, because they kind of think, well, gay marriage is okay, so pedophilia is okay, and they just go down that weird logical path that doesn't make any sense. I mean, I'm a liberal when it comes to things like gay marriage, taxing the rich, better health care, um, better education. I wouldn't say that I'm a conservative when it comes to sex, but maybe I am. I don't think that kids being used as sex objects is a good thing. I don't think that animals or dead bodies or incest should be accepted. I think that's disgusting, and I think it hurts people. I think it makes society um, a weaker. I think that it makes genetics weaker. So I guess when it comes to sex, I'm kind of conservative, but I'm not basing it on religion. I'm basing it on science. If you have sex with a 2-year-old, you're a freaking animal, and you should be put in jail or prison for the rest of your life. I'm not for the death penalty. You see what I mean? There are liberal things about me, but at the same time, I'm against things like capital punishment, and I'm against uh, too much acceptance of things. I don't think that it should be legal to legal. I don't think that we should legalize drugs without a safety net. I think that I'm all in favor of legalizing things that I don't do. Sometimes, like crack cocaine, methamphetamine, I'm totally in favor of legalizing all drugs. But at the same time, we also need education about why you shouldn't do crack cocaine or meth. There are some people that just think that we should have an anarchist society where nothing is held back and you can have sex with or do any drug or any kind of anything to your body or anybody else if they consent to it or not. I disagree. I think that law and order is important. I think that justice for children is important and animals is important. I think that incest is gross and damages the human genome. I think that necrophilia is gross and damages the human genome. I think that doing drugs is bad, but I think that there's more damage done through sex than there is through drugs, but not necessarily gay, straight sex, or even like the BDSM community. It's more stuff that against kids or animals or the innocent that you might view me as a conservative, but I think that's disgusting. I think when a guy has 2 girlfriends and you've got one, that it's a tacit support of greed. and maybe it is jealousy, but it's like, why is that young dude entitled to 2 girlfriends when I got none? I don't know how to really solve that, but when I see a guy with a girlfriend and she's pretty and he's in trouble, I don't I don't care if he's in trouble. I've done stupid things where I've given a cigarette, but then I realize, shit, that guy just had sex, or that guy's just about to go have sex, and that guy's getting the girlfriend, and I gave him a fucking cigarette, and his youth entitlement tricked me into giving him the cigarette. I don't want to be rude, but please don't ever ask me for a cigarette again. If you're getting laid, fuck you. Great for you, but I'm still looking for a girlfriend, and I'm not gonna just accept that we're gonna hook up with some chick and 20 guys are gonna have sex with her. I want a wife and kids one day. I want a girlfriend, not a sex partner. Yeah, you can help me out by sending them my webpage and they'll email me if you're trolling me. Yeah, whatever. It's not something I would do I wouldn't try to damage somebody. I wouldn't try to intentionally go out of my way to laugh at somebody in struggle or pain. And I've said things that people have laughed at where it's like I've been crying and they're just laughing, and it's like, yeah, that's that entitlement shit. And there are people, when I talk about like age phobia, they'll start talking about sexism and just way off point. Like, so let's stay on topic. Why won't you go out on a date with me in the real world, and you just want to talk about some sort of like political issue where you switch the topic? That's not fair. It's that youth entitlement shit where it's like you're the girl, but you want to talk about racism or sexism. I'm fine. I'm with that. I mean, that's an interesting topic, but we should really go out on a date. If you don't want to go out on a date, I'm going to call you entitled for even asking why I'm entitled. We're human beings. Why don't you just want to go out with me? Saying that I'm a creep is like saying, if I were black and I said, well, why don't you want to go out with me? And your excuse is, well, I'm a nigger. You're a nigger, so I'm not going to go out with you. You're too old, so I'm not going to go out with you. You're a creep. Yeah, you know what? Fuck you. It's your entitlement. Don't just ride the thing where you're going to say what I'm going to say next. I view women like goddesses, but if you're right there in the other room saying I right when I'm going to say I and interrupting me, that just shows exactly the problem with people. Have a nice time with that, you know? I just gave you a cigarette and you're getting the pussy. It shouldn't be the question of why I'm entitled. It should be the question of why you feel entitled to the cigarette and pussy. And why, if you want to hook me up, you're going to link me up or hook me up with a girl. How we all have to have sex with her. Why can't you just introduce me to a girl without the becauses and the if-thens? I wouldn't try to damage you, so don't try to damage me. Why you gotta be like that is the question, you know? But whatever, you know, have your fucking fun. You're gonna call me a bigot because I don't want brothers fucking sisters is your logic. Awesome.